Hello, everybody. I hope that you're doing well and that you had a really nice weekend. And I hope that you've been sitting with our first module from Creating Awareness Skills, all the Reflecting the Truth skills that we looked at, and that that takeaways and revolutions have been coming, and just thoughts and ideas. I wanted to take a couple of minutes and talk a little bit about how to use the reflecting truth skills that we looked at last week in your business. Hey, Cal. Hey, Stephanie. I'm glad you guys are here live. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the training, every skill that we are learning in Sacred Depths can not only be used with your clients and with your groups, but they're also really, really powerful and effective marketing tools that I use in my business all the time. And I use reflecting truth skills in my business in so many areas of marketing. I use reflecting truth skills in my sales calls. I use reflecting truth skills in my copy on sales pages, in emails, in social media, when I give preview presentations. So why do I do this, and why is reflecting the truth so powerful in your marketing? And that's because when you can courageously and effectively and boldly create awareness around some hard truths in your marketing, the people that are reading it, the people that are hearing it, your prospects, your community, all of a sudden will see you as a truth speaker, will see you as someone who is willing to call out what needs to be called out. We'll see you as a revolutionary that they want to follow. We'll see you as someone who sees them because they've likely been feeling or thinking some of these truths. So let me give you a couple of practical examples of what I mean by this. I think it will make it more clear. I'll give you two examples. So one is think about your sales calls, your enrollment conversations. And by the way, I've already let you guys know about this, but I'll just keep on reminding you, you have a whole in your member center for Sacred Depths as a bonus for this program. You have like a whole library of business recordings, trainings, and worksheets. And in that whole library, there's a 5-hour training on authentic enrollment conversations. 5 hours is a really long time to devote, I know. But if you're at the point where you're ready to start having sales calls with clients, or you have been having sales calls with clients and you want them to get better, I highly, highly, highly recommend going through the training. Even if you can't do it in one sitting, do it in a couple of sittings. People have said it's business changing and life changing. So anyway, back to reflecting the truth skills. You want to use all those skills that we spoke about last week when it comes to reflecting the truth in your one-on-one enrollment conversations, in your one-on-one sales calls with prospects. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you are on a call with a prospect, with someone who's interested in working with you, and you're speaking to them and you're activating their gap and their vision, which is something you'll learn about when you listen to the authentic enrollment conversation training. But you're basically just talking to them about where they are and where they want to be. That's part of what we do in sales calls. And through that exploration, you're using your deep listening skills, right? Because listening skills are required to create awareness. Through that exploration, you're listening, using your deep listening skills with your prospect, and you see that this prospect doesn't really love their partner anymore. And one of the reasons maybe this prospect is coming to you is because they want to feel more fulfilled in their lives. They want to feel like they're moving forward. They want to feel like they're living a life that's aligned for them. Now, they haven't said outright, I don't love my partner anymore. But because you're using your deep listening skills, you hear this. So this might be, again, it depends on context and mood and all of that, but this might be something that you want to create awareness around in the sales conversation. It's not something easy, especially with a stranger, right? To create awareness around it. But if you've created a strong container in that enrollment conversation and you feel like there's trust and all of that, you might reflect that hard truth back to your prospect. When you do it, it's so valuable. So number one, it's just valuable for your prospect. It's a growth opportunity for them, just like it would be in a regular coaching conversation. But in addition to that, the reason why it's so effective for your business is when you do this, now all of a sudden, this prospect sees you as someone who really gets her, as someone who really hears and sees her. This prospect now sees you as a practitioner who is willing to be honest with her and to help her stretch, right? And so those are going to be part of the compelling reasons for her to want to hire you as her coach, right? So that's one way that you can use reflecting the truth. And I want to encourage you, for those of you that are having sales calls, enrollment conversations, I want you to start looking for where you can reflect some harder truths for your prospects. Now, the other way, as I said earlier, is to insert truth telling, reflecting the truth into your copy, into your sales pages, into your newsletter articles, into your emails, into your social media, into your presentations. The more that you become a truth teller, a speaker of hard truths, the more that people that aren't ideal clients are going to run far away from you. I can promise that. People that don't like you are not going to like it when you speak the truth. It'll turn them off. But that being said, the more that you speak the truth, the more that you're a truth teller, the people that are meant to work with you or be part of your community, those people that are your ideal clients, they're going to become even more magnetized to you, because again, they're going to see you as someone who's willing to speak these truths, to create awareness around it, to be the revolutionary, right? They're going to be inspired by it, and they're going to feel seen and heard by you as someone who, other people in the industry maybe aren't speaking these things, but you are. So I'll give you a concrete example of this actually from my own business. This is a strategy or a skill that has helped me grow my business and my community and my following so much. I was one of the first business coaches to reflect some hard truths about the coaching industry and about marketing practices in the industry and about the emphasis on all of the glossiness and not enough emphasis on substance. And I inserted that into my social media posts, into my articles, into everything that I was putting out. I was one of the first people to speak about some of the not so in integrity marketing practices out there and sales practices out there and how we have to put this to an end, right? Now, it wasn't easy to speak any of these things. People got mad. Colleagues of mine got mad at me, if you want to know the truth. I did lose some relationships. I'm sure people opted out of my newsletter list and from my social media following. However, so many more people came in and so many more people started listening more intently. And so many people wrote to me and said, "Thank you, Joanna, for speaking the truth, for reflecting hard truths. You were speaking exactly what my soul has been thinking, but I didn't trust those things because nobody else is saying it." Or people would say, "I never saw it that way before, but it feels so right. Thank you for sharing that," right? So I'd love to just hear, what you're learning so far from what I'm sharing. Hey, Kim, is this ringing true for you? What are you starting to see for yourself? And then I want to give you 2 homework pieces. If this is ringing true, let's see what did Stephanie say. Oh, that's why you love us. Thank you. Love me. Thank you. Yeah. And okay, I'm not good with technology, Stephanie, but I'm going to look at the rest of your post later because I can't read all of it from here. Anyway, I'm going to give you guys 2 homework assignments on this. If this is something that you want to go deeper in, and you want to really utilize for your business and to bring in more prospects and to gather more community and to have people listen to you more intently. So number 1, actually it's 3 assignments. So first of all, like I said earlier, integrate this into your enrollment conversations. Integrate this into your prospect calls. Reflect some hard truths in those conversations. When the moment is right. And then in terms of your other marketing, your sales pages, your emails, your articles, your social media, presentations, whatever it is, I want you to think about either your specific industry, the specific things that you help people with, or your ideal clients, or whatever it is. And I want you to think of a hard or compelling truth. Maybe you've already spoke this with clients, but you haven't put it out in your marketing yet, right? I want you to think of a hard or a compelling truth that is ready to be spoken. This can be about your industry. This can be about your ideal client. This can be about situations that you work on with your ideal client. This can be about patterning with client members, families, whatever it is. But I want you to think of a hard or compelling truth. And I want you to either write an article about this or a social media post about this and see how it goes. See what kind of response you get from people. My guess is that you're going to get a lot of response. But again, you don't just share that truth. Go back to everything that we learned last week on how to reflect hard truths. All of those steps, right? Equal playing field, approaching with love and compassion, being willing to be wrong, which when you're writing, a hard truth to a community, being willing to be wrong means understanding that it may not be right for everybody that's reading it, right? Allowing for all of those things, thinking about how you're going to deliver it. So I want you to work on delivering a hard or compelling truth through an article or a social media post. And then if you want to play even some more, what about personal anecdote? So we spoke a little bit about personal anecdote in our training call last week. Personal anecdote is a very powerful marketing skill because the more that your community not only knows what your expertise is and, here's your wisdom, but the more they learn about you, the more they feel like they really know you, like you're personal to them, then the more connected they feel to you, and then the more willing they are to ultimately purchase from you when the time is right. This is something that I do a bit in my business. I use personal anecdote, but I've been realizing lately I actually need to start doing even more personal anecdote. I'm great on this in social media, but lately in my newsletter articles, I haven't been using this creating awareness skill as much as I could. So you'll see an uptick in that from me. But so anyway, personal anecdote, if you remember from last week, is one of the ways that you can help reflect a truth, right? By telling a story about you and the truth. It helps normalize it for the person that's listening or reading or hearing it, so that it almost like softens whatever the truth is a little bit and all of that. So I want you to consider starting to insert some more personal anecdote. It can be into your sales calls. It can be in your social media posts. It can be in articles, presentations, but again, for the purpose, not just to share the personal anecdote, but for the purpose of reflecting a hard truth. All right, so let me know, again, just if this was helpful for you. I'll keep on doing, I did this with our listening skills and with our first energetics call, kind of extracting business pieces. If you guys like this, I'll keep on doing them. Let me know if this was helpful. Let me know what you're seeing and taking away. And if you have any questions on this too, let me know as well. I'm happy to help in any way. Hope you guys are doing well. Can't wait for tomorrow. We've got part 2 of creating awareness, and I'll see you then. Bye.